It's okay with marrying children.
Okay, no, it's fine. Let me answer your question.
What?
It's true to say that if you read the tafasir and the exegesis of chapter 64 verse 4, especially on the part where it says وَاللَّائِ لَمْ يَحِدْنَ, it does mention women that are pregnant, it does mention postpartum women, but it also does women that have never had a period before. That's true. And if someone tries to do inkar of that or reject that, then they will be...
And it mentions children as well.
Well, I'm saying women that have never had a period before.
It doesn't say women, it says children.
Well,
Ibn Kathir clearly says it mentions children.
Yeah,
Do you want me to read it out again?
No, fine.
I'll read it out to you.
Listen, I'm telling you, listen.
Allah the Exalted clarifies the waiting period of the woman in menopause, and that it is one whose menstruation has stopped due to her older age.
But do you know,
can I finish?
Do you know why it says women though?
Can I finish?
The verse says women.
Can I finish? Can I just finish? Can I allow my place? Then you talk. I'll give you all the time.
Go ahead.
Right. And that is one of those whose menstruation has stopped due to her old age. Her iddah, or waiting period for divorce, is 3 months.
Who's iddah?
Who's iddah? It's the waiting period for divorce.
No, but it says her iddah.
Her iddah.
Yeah, who's
this
her?
Is referring to the woman in menopause.
Woman in menopause.
That woman. And now let me read the rest of it. Right? Her iddah is 3 months, instead of the 3 monthly cycles for those who menstruate, which is based upon the ayat in Surah Al-Baqarah. The same for the young. Who have not reached the years of menstruation.
Accept. Look,
their iddah is 3 months. So you can marry and divorce children in Islam.
Okay, let me answer your question, right? Let me understand. First of all, the verse itself says min nisaikum, from your women, yeah?
Right.
So women is, you've asked me where the verse itself mentions women, yeah?
And this is mentioning young children. So you've got a problem with the early tafsir.
Let me ask you. Yes, no, I don't have a problem with them. No, I don't.
So you don't?
No, I don't have a problem.
So when they say young child,
are you asking me a question now? Or are you just going to interrogate me?
Continue.
All right, so let me ask you a question, right? So it's true to say that...
All right.
No, it's fine. It's true to say that aqdun nikah.
Right.
The aqdun nikah is a marital contract.
Right.
Can be done with anybody at any age.
Of course, yeah.
Yes? This is something which you didn't know that. But the sexual interaction...
No, I did know that, mate.
Okay, fine. Maybe you did know it. You're a great scholar of Islam.
Well, you go on like you're a great scholar, mate. Let's be honest.
That's fine.
Let's not crack words.
Fine.
No
problem.
Go on.
So what I'm saying is, scholars of Islam differentiate between two things.
Right.
They differentiate between aqdun nikah, which is a contract, and when, for example, the woman can engage in sexuality.
What scholars are these, bro?
And let me tell you what the evidence for that is.
No, what scholars are these? What scholars are these?
For example,
early, like Ibn Kathir?
Yeah.
So what are they? Do you know the names?
Yes.
Can I write them down?
Yes.
Let
me get you the names here. For example, An-Nawawi mentions that in his Sharh of Hadith, where he mentions the hadith of why the Prophet ﷺ married Aisha. He done the aqdun nikah at the age of 6, and then he consummated at the age of 9.
What years after Hijrah?
Pardon?
What years after Hijrah?
400 and something. I don't know, 440 maybe.
Right.
Yeah, after Hijrah. I don't know exactly.
And Al-Nawawi was his name.
It's An-Nawawi, yeah. For example, do you know who else mentions it? For example, Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi mentions it in his book.
Ibn Qudama.
Yeah, Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi mentions it. So basically, the Hanbali scholars. What I'm saying to you is this: it's pretty much understood in Islam that you can do a contract of marriage, but that contract of marriage is not efficacious in the fullest sense until the woman is able to consummate the marriage. And that capability, which is referred to as istita'a in the books of jurisprudence, is mentioned as, physical capability. So let me explain. No, it's a good point.
You did say.
Yeah, I know. Let me explain.
If you read the Quran on its own,
fine.
You could literally marry a child.
I accept.
That was your word.
I accept. So you could argue the point that it's most explicit in the hadith. Why can you argue the point that it's most explicit in the hadith? Because
it's only mentioned in the hadith.
Let me tell you why it can be alluded to in the Quran, but it's mostly mentioned in the hadith. For number one, the scholars of Islam, the jurisprudential scholars, because really you have to differentiate between the exegetes and the jurisprudence. Yeah, fiqh and tafsir are two different things.
So what's wrong with the exegetes?
So no, there's nothing wrong with them. No, what they're saying is right. What they're saying. No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I've not said that. All I've said is that they're saying that the contract can be done, but that it's not efficacious in the fullest sense, where intercourse between the two parties can happen until the woman is ready.
So
now, how do we know that?
Who makes this stipulation?
So they, like I said, the Islamic scholars, they deducted it from the fact that the Prophet
Muhammad and Allah don't make this stipulation.
Yes, they do. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Where's Muhammad?
So as I said, they look at it from the fact, the scholars look at it from the fact that he married at the age of 6, that there was a marital contract, but that he did not do would you call it jima', or he did not do intercourse, so there was no intimacy until 3 years. Exactly. Yeah. So they look at that and they say, well, that's good evidence that even though no, it's not correction, it's called specification. So it's good evidence for the fact that the contract can be put in place. However, that it's not efficacious until the person becomes capable. Now, how do we know?
So
who determines?
Who determines whether she's capable?
Good. That's a good question.
There's also hadith that claim that silence means her consent.
Good. No.
And also, we see
misunderstood that.
instances within hadith. I'm not misunderstanding anything. We see
How do you know?
instances within hadith.
How do you know?
I know because I've read it. Right.
What's the hadith?
We see instances within the hadith where Aisha's taken by Muhammad and he beats her.
Okay.
Beats her till she's
Now that's a different topic.
So
You
if
can bring that
silence
up.
means
I reject that.
He obviously was.
I reject that.
You reject.
I reject this.
So you reject hadith.
No, I reject your understanding of it. Let me go back to the first
So
point.
beating her till she's green is my understanding, correct?
Wallahi, if you find me any hadith that says that the Prophet ﷺ, I dare you to find one single hadith where the Prophet ﷺ beat Aisha when she is green. You're a liar. You are a liar. Hold on. Second thing is, let's get to Christianity in a second, yeah? But
we're not getting to Christianity.
No.
Then we'll go to Christianity.
Fine.
I don't mind.
Fine. Let's deal with Islam first because we don't have anything to hide. I'm saying to you now, the first thing is, you stated what is the evidence. I told you that the scholars of jurisprudence say that
100 years after the Prophet and your God.
No, I understand, but that's true. That's true. However, what's also
so there's
true?
nothing in your soul. If I took the Quran alone,
hold on.
The Quran itself says in chapter 15, verse 1, that it is a clear book. So if I took the Quran on its own, I could literally rape a child.
No. Hold on. Let me answer your question.
Why is that funny? That's your religion.
No. Fine. Let me answer your question.
Your religion is
No. Calm down, guys. Calm down, guys. There's nothing to. Guys, you're interfering. You're interfering, and don't interfere, please. Yeah. Let's answer his question directly. As I've said, the hadith is that. Number 2 hadith, which is very important, is that which mentioned in Nawawi's 40 hadith as well, which is la darar wa la dirar, which is that you're not allowed to cause harm or reciprocate harm. Now, the scholars of
Sunan and the side, by the way. So continue. Sorry.
It's also mentioned in the 40 hadith. Okay.
No. I'm talking about the striking hadith.
I understand. It's also mentioned in Sahih Muslim. You didn't know that.
You didn't know that. You said, show me where.
No, not green. Not green. There's nothing about greenery in the hadith.
So he beat her, but nothing about green.
No, I know
so
what hadith.
Okay if he beats her.
No, I didn't say that. I said that the hadith that I know you're referring to is mentioned in Sahih Muslim.
He beat his wife, basically.
Did I say that?
No. Hadith said that.
Okay, well, the people are watching you in disingenuity, right? I didn't say that I agree with you.
How am I being indisingenuous?
Speak properly. Cat got your tongue, boy.
Yeah, it has literally got my tongue.
Cat got your tongue. No, speak.
No, I'll give you that.
Speak.
Indisingenuous. I wasn't being indisingenuous.
Okay, no, it's not disingenuous. It's disingenuous, yeah?
Yeah, I wasn't being disingenuous.
Okay, so your disingenuity is for all to see.
I wasn't being disingenuous.
Okay, let me be clear. Alright, fine, let me answer your question. Fine, let me answer your question. Are you afraid to hear my response?
I'm not afraid of your response.
Fine, let me.
I've got no response.
Okay, okay. I've got you're not afraid of my response, but I've got no response.
You've got no response.
Okay, so let me respond. My response is this: is that the scholars of Islam, they consider one of the major objectives of Islam as not to cause or reciprocate harm unless there is injunction in the text.
And who are these scholars? They're later than your prophet. So how can we know?
They base it.
One minute. How can we know at the time of your prophet?
Yeah.
If we're at the time of prophet, how can we know that those same people believe that you had to wait a certain period to have sex with a child?
Okay, they did.
Bearing in mind, your own prophet.
No, we don't agree with what you just said.
Had sex with a child.
No, we don't.
Listen,
Listen, we don't agree with what you just said. Listen.
You don't agree with it. That's what
let me answer your question.
Go on.
To answer your question, the scholars of Islam, they look at like a Shatibi mentions in Muwafaqat, right? He says that in order to understand an objective of Sharia, you don't look at just one piece of evidence, you look at the combined pieces of evidence. So in the case of this principle of causing or the principle of causing and reciprocating harm is not as a result, he mentions, or the principle is ad-darar yuzal, that harm is to be averted. This is a principle in Islam. Unless there's enough.
Who was that principle sent down?
No, I'm telling you.
How can we know that it was sent from Muhammad?
Okay, you asked me a question. Can I answer it, please?
Go on.
Yeah, fine. So Shatibi mentions in Kitab Muwafaqat that in fact principles like this are more voracious than one piece of evidence, and the reason why he says is because it combines all pieces of evidence. So, for example, in this case, there's a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad where he said himself.
Seems like a load of words.
Okay, fine. Maybe you don't understand it, but maybe
you're not bringing any points. That's the point.
So let me just say my words, and then you can say what you want. So the Prophet Muhammad he mentioned the hadith, la darar wa la dirar. There is no harming or reciprocating harm. Right. And he mentioned another hadith, la darar wa la idrar. So it's another way of saying the same thing, but with more emphasis on reciprocating the harm.
So no bringing harm. Is that no reciprocating harm?
Yeah.
So why did your prophet harm Aisha?
I'm explaining to you that there's no evidence of that.
I just shot Sunan an-Nasai.
No, hold on.
He said,
hold on.
So you were the black sheikh that I saw in front of me? And he said, yes. Yeah. He struck me in the chest, which caused me pain. Then he said, did you think that Allah and his messenger would deal unjustly with you? I said, whatever the people conceal, he knows. Say Sunan an-Nasai, hadith 2039.
Okay, let me answer it.
So you've been exposed.
No, I haven't been exposed. Let me answer you.
According to Muhammad, it's okay to beat somebody.
Would you like me to answer you? All right, fine. First and foremost,
You're not helping yourself.
First and foremost, Aisha herself, who's the narrator of that hadith, mentioned in another hadith.
So that means it's wrong.
Can you let me speak?
Continue, go on.
All right. So Aisha, who's the narrator of that particular hadith, yeah, who supposedly said he struck me in my chest to cause me harm, which I reject the translation of, yeah, because if you bring the Arabic, it's not darabani. He didn't mention that at all. The word daraba is not even mentioned in the hadith. Just to let you know.
Let's just hide behind the Arabic.
It's not. No, just calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Just let me finish. First of all, the word.
You're not bringing any points.
The word.
It's just like just telling me you're Arabic.
You're not listening.
See, now you're starting. You can see what's happening here, right?
It's okay. It's okay. Let him
I'm getting agitated.
Let him
Apparently. I'm
He's
asking
still gonna
questions.
fall. He's still gonna fall.
Go on. Continue. I'm shaking, Amar. You're prophet shook.
Okay.
It's what it is.
Okay. So you're trying to be disrespectful. We're not trying to be disrespectful. We're trying
No,
to points.
there's
Fine.
hadith.
Let me deal with the points. You're going to another tangential point.
Go
All right,
go to the point.
First of all, the hadith inside Muslim, yes, does not mention darabani, and I challenge you, which means hit, to strike, or whatever, which is mentioned in 434, the same word, fadribuhun. That's not even mentioned in the hadith. So I challenge you to find the opposite of that. Number two,
it's not my problem.
no, and then I'll give you something which is
a hadith.
hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
All right, go on,
the second thing, which is even more damning for you, is that Aisha herself. Yeah, just let me finish the point. I know. Okay. Can you see?
I said I'm not talking.
Can you see? He's anxious. He's very anxious.
I'm really not. This is the funniest stuff.
Would you like a beta blocker?
Would you?
No, I'm alright.
I think you need one.
I'm not the one
You
who's
sound like a
interrupting.
beta male right now.
Sorry?
I said you sound like a beta male right now. That's what you sound like.
Beta blocker means a propranolol. It's a drug that brings your heart rate down.
I don't need any of that, mate.
Maybe you do. Okay, look, you're shaking and quivering.
So if Muhammad shook and quivered,
only if there's an extraneous variable which substantiates the
so
shaking.
revelation, him sweating and shaking.
Yeah, he met God. You're meeting me.
He met God. How do you know I'm not meeting God?
He met
How do you know I'm not meeting God? How do you know I haven't got God inside?
met a demon.
He met God. You're meeting me.
How do you know that I'm not receiving revelation from Allah?
All right.
Demons
Let's
scared
move on.
How do you know that I'm not receiving revelation from Allah?
Okay, fine. Can we
How do you know that?
go to the point?
How do you know?
Can we go to the point?
No, you brought up the shaking. So how do you know I'm not receiving
Listen,
revelation?
you're running away. You are running away.
You're the one running away.
Let me make the point.
So I'm saying your prophet shook.
Okay, no problem. No problem. So
it's not a problem.
Okay.
So if he's not a problem, I'm no problem.
See, look how he's talking.
Okay, let's
Right, second point is that Aisha herself said the Prophet never hit one of his wives. In a hadith that's narrated upon her in Bukhari, she said that the Prophet never hit any of his wives.
So the hadiths contradict each other.
No, they don't, because the word
What do you mean they don't? He struck her.
Okay, now let me explain. If your translation of the hadith,
It's not my translation. It's Muslims. It's not me. I didn't make this
well,
up.
I'm translating the hadith for you. I'm a Muslim, right?
wrong. The
Irrelevant.
websites, the
You're one Muslim.
Even this isn't
And there's a lot of Muslims. One minute, guys. Yeah.
Even Sahih
There's many
al-Bukhari
Muslims
is
that
wrong.
disagree with you, Mohammed.
Websites are wrong. Sahih al-Bukhari is wrong.
So you're not the judge of jurisprudence over.
Everyone can see the desperation in the air.
You're not the judge.
I'll let you squirm.
You're not the
Please
judge.
squirm.
Muhammad
Please
Jab is
squirm.
not the judge of jurisprudence.
Squirm in front of me. I enjoy it.
Jab is not a scholar.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Under the
Look
bus.
how he's squaring.
Sahih hadith, he just
I'm
threw
not.
it under the bus.
Look how they're both squirming.
Hijab.
Son, how are you, sir? You okay?
Hijab.
Are you done?
I'm not scared of you.
Are you squirming?
I'm not scared of you.
You're quivering and shaking and you're
I'm not
squirming.
scared of you.
And your guy is
I'm gonna be honest.
shouting.
Ever since I've come to this park for 2 years, and you saw me 2 years ago, right? I've always done this. I've always done this.
Everything in
around
Islam is
everybody.
false.
And it's recorded.
Just
So I'm not
throw
scared
it
of you.
under
mate.
the bus.
We're not all scared of you.
Alright,
Maybe these
fantastic.
lot are, I'm not scared of you.
No problem. And we're done here.
So
Now,
continue with your
so
point.
my point is for 3 steps. That is just to answer your question. Yeah. If your point is that if you look at the Quran alone, without reference to the Hadith, can you justify intercourse with prepubescents, or would you have a stronger argument? I'll say you would have a stronger argument without the Hadith, but we don't accept the Quran without the Hadith. That's why we look at the Quran and the Hadith.
So
And
then the Quran only
upon doing so,
What hadith says that you cannot have sex?
that's not how the Hadith works. Just to let you know. No,
So no hadith says that you cannot have sex with a minor.
No, hold on.
So
You
hadith
said,
doesn't say
according to the
that.
hadith, we cannot have sex with you. That's what you said.
No, what I'm saying is the Hadith works in the following way. It's not just like you have to have, for example, a saying. So the actions of the Prophet are also considered to be something that we the Muslims follow. The sayings of the Prophet, the iqrar of the Prophet, or what the Prophet affirms or doesn't affirm. This is what
So
is.
we can interpret our own traditions the way we want, and if we don't like something, we'll just reinterpret it.
No, I mean even you accept the
That's
same.
your religion.
Hold on.
That's your
Calm
religion.
down,
Your
man.
religion. That's-
Calm down.
Go on,
So anyway, well now you have to be disingenuous, right?
I'm being disingenuous. That's just the same old
no
argument
problem.
again.
Okay.
It's not
So
disingenuous.
now
you
that
don't
we're-
interpret your religion how
Just
you
to-
want,
just to sum-
and anybody who says it's paedophile is wrong and a kafir.
Okay, just to summarize the point, yeah, we've said, you asked the question
Yeah, go on.
about chapter 65, verse 4. I did not negate the fact that some scholars of exegesis and hermeneutics have said in the past that this refers to prepubescence.
The ink of the Ummah, Ibn Abbas said it.
And listen,
It was called the ink of the Ummah for a reason.
Sorry?
The ink of the Ummah, Ibn Abbas said it.
Okay.
Right? Al-Jalalain says it.
Okay.
Ibn Kathir says it.
What did I just hear me say?
So you don't deny that?
I just said I don't deny the fact.
Would you say they're wrong on that fact?
No, I didn't say they're wrong either.
You didn't say they're
What
wrong?
I said is the way this is to be understood is that there is a contract can be done before, but that the woman, when she gets to an age of puberty, now she has a choice. And the evidence of that is what the Prophet ﷺ said, al-bikru tusta'dhan, that the virgin or the person who's not been married before has to be asked permission before marriage. That's an evidence the Prophet's saying.
Have you got a hadith for that?
Yeah, it's called al-bikru tusta'dhan. And I'm saying it to you in Arabic. Yeah, al-bikru tusta'dhan. Which mentioned Bukhari.
What I need you to do is like later, like show me a link or something, because I need that actually.
No problem. Which is why Shawkani and others have said that.
You can just say it. We'll catch it on
anyway,
camera.
look.
Just say the reference.
He's already said it.
I've just said it. So fine. So that's number one. Number two, we've said now, harming is not okay. So someone can ask the question which you did and I didn't answer it. So let me answer it now. Right, you said, how do you determine if the person is able or capable for sexual intercourse? The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said in another hadith, he said, "Man tatabbaba wa lam yakun bit-tibbi ma'rufan fa asaba nafsan fa huwa damin." Whoever pretends to be a doctor and he's not actually a doctor, and then he harms somebody, then he is accountable. The Quran also says, "Fas'alu ahli dhikri in kuntum la ta'lamun." Go and ask the people of knowledge if you don't know. Meaning here that Islam gives rights to doctors. And especially
nothing to do with what I just said.
Of course it does. Let me tell you why.
Was Muhammad a doctor?
Let me explain what I'm saying. Because the question of harm, especially if we talk about physical harm, it seems to me to be a medicinal issue, right? So the question of, okay, if a person, like for example, she's 50, let's say in this country the consent is 16 years old, right?
Yeah.
All right. You are maybe like 21 years old, right? 22, something like that.
I'm 27, mate.
All right, you look young, which is very, very nice, yeah? A strapping young man like yourself, you know.
Please don't hit on me.
No,
I am not gay.
Okay, no problem. I'm not hitting. If that's how you interpret hitting on, that's fine.
I'm joking.
Okay, no problem. No worries. I'm trying to pay you a compliment.
I know. It's a bit mean-spirited.
No problem. There's no need to apologize. All I'm going to say is that a man like yourself, right? You, for example, can have intercourse with a 16-year-old in this country, okay? Now, this 16-year-old might be emaciated. This individual might be malnourished, might be weak. You might be able to grab her like this and then the collarbones fall off, right? This might be a weak individual. Now, Islam would say, although it's legally possible for you and, I'm not going to say me, but just anybody to have, let me put it another way, right? You got a 100-year-old woman.
Right.
There's no law that prevents me to have intercourse with a 100-year-old. But once again, if I go to the care homes and we're outside and and then just, honestly, and then I get, and then I
Will a 100-year-old know what sex is?
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll be they'll be able to comprehend what sex is.
Yeah.
They would know what marriage is.
Fine.
A 6-year-old girl wouldn't know what marriage is.
No,
a 9-year-old girl wouldn't know what sex was.
No, let me explain.
Aisha was playing with dolls.
Okay, now hold on. You're going from one thing to another. You're going from one. No. All I'm saying to you, the paradigm of Islam says this: if you have intercourse with a 15-year-old, 14-year-old who is before the age of consent, but she's voluptuous and big hips and ready for action, where there's no harm, but then when you have sex with a 99-year-old and you do it with her one time, she drops dead and goes to the graveyard, Islam would say actually one of them is more morally incorrect than the other. And it might not
Islam would say that silence is a consent. You could have sex with the old woman and you could have sex with a 15-year-old.
No, it wouldn't.
And in fact, it also says in your hadith that anybody younger than 15 is a child.
No, listen. If by having sex, Islam would say if by having sex with a 95-year-old woman or 80-year-old woman, you're going to cause her considerable harm and or injury, which you would agree with, right? That such a thing would not be allowed in Islam. I'm saying the same thing applies to women who are making their transition to puberty. Do you understand the Islamic concept now? So although legally, for example, if I wanted to have a marriage contract with a 95-year-old, I can. I mean, it's going to be valid. Now, the thing is, it might be valid, but the rights now that I'm going to be owed in a normal marriage contract are not going to be the same. I can't say, the angels are going to be cursing you if you don't give me intercourse every night the way I like it, yeah? So, do you understand?
So explain to me why Muhammad didn't follow these principles, because he married
I'm saying that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the one who established those principles.
Here's what I'm saying. She had sex with her at 9 years old. By the way, if you look in history, when 9-year-old girls or people, even a bit older, like 13, when they were pregnant, they would die. So your God was okay with your prophet having sex with a child who could potentially die.
He said himself, and he's a man of his word. He said, when we're done with Islam, we move to Christianity. I'm saying, fine, he doesn't mind, because he doesn't. But what I'm saying to you is, all I'm saying to you is as follows: that you said these principles were established by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do you understand this?
According to who?
Now, according to all the fuqaha, according to the
No,
usuliyun.
according to men who came hundreds of years later, you didn't even know your
Yeah,
prophet.
okay, no problem. So
What do you mean no problem?
So,
So your
but
religion
these
doesn't come
individuals-
from Muhammad.
No, hold on.
It doesn't come from Allah. It comes from people who existed hundreds of years later.
No, but what I'm saying is why that's important though. What's your name again?
My name's John.
John.
Yeah, John.
So John, the reason why this is still important is because these individuals are not affected by Western apologetics or liberalism because they came way before.
I'm not even talking about Western apologetics.
I know, I
I'm talking
understand
about
that.
your God.
No, but I'm saying, hold on, let me
I'm
just
questioning
one at a
your
time.
God's morality, that's the point.
What I'm saying to you is this.
Yeah.
I am saying to you clearly that those scholars that came before time, it wouldn't have been socially unacceptable for them to make that proclamation in their times. So they had no motivation to lie upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in that manner. In fact, some of their opinions, if we had brought them to the public, would be seen as aberrational to say the least. The point I'm making to you is that yes, there has been a group of scholars that have interpreted the religion of Islam in the way that I've just said. But
What's the age of consent is on then? What would you consider the age of consent?
there isn't an age of consent in
So
Islam.
why is it there's a hadith that's saying anybody who's younger than 15 is a child?
Okay, so the Malikis, for example, that's the upper limit, not the higher limit.
Right.
So in other words, for the Malikis, there's a difference of opinion here. But for example, if you look at all four madhabs, the Shafi'i, the Malikis, the four madhabs of Islam, the Hanafis and who else? Who did I mention?
Hanbali, Salah, is it Salah? No, not Salafi.
And the Hanbalis, right? If you look at all those, they have minimum and maximum ages. In fact, for example, Ibn Qudama mentions, the minimum age is 9 years old. Yeah, you can't be an adult. You cannot even be an adult before 9. That's the Shafi'i view and that's the Hanbali view. So
that's actually more wicked than what your prophet's saying.
No.
Because your prophet's basically saying anybody who's younger than 15 is a child.
But
this guy Hanbali is basically saying as well.
No, let me explain. So let me. Do you want to speak properly or not? All right. Okay, fine. So what I'm saying to you is this: is that in Islam, certain signs have to be in place in order for someone to be considered an adult.
Right.
Now, there's a difference between taklif, when you'll be morally accountable in Islam, and because there's a hadith that says, what do you call it, rufi al-qalim an thalath, and one of them is that as-sabiyu hatta yahlub, that the pen has been lifted on 3 people. So there's an eschatological dimension, which is that God doesn't hold to account children.
The pen has been. What do you mean the pen that Allah has an eternal that's next to him? And that's
No, this is more of a metaphoric expression. The pen has been lifted, meaning that they're not accountable, right? So the pen has been lifted on 3 sets of people. One of them is the young one until they become pubescent. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, you can be pubescent but not fit for marriage. That's what I'm saying to you. I'm not saying as soon as someone does puberty, they're ready for sex and marriage.
There's hadith that say her silence equals her consent.
Okay, let me explain that hadith because you mentioned it a few times. Her silence equals her consent means that if you ask her and she does not object, and out of shyness she's quiet, then that is acquiescence.
Can children be shy or mute?
No, I'm not talking about
If
children.
they're in a disturbing, I'm talking about children.
Yeah.
Because Aisha was a child. That's a fact.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
No, that's what the hadith is saying.
What is a child?
A child is somebody who's younger than 15 according to your religion.
Oh, so no, hold on. According to my religion, it's not actually that. As I said to you. No. Let me explain. No, it's not true. There's no hadith like that.
Okay.
There's no hadith like that.
Okay.
No, there's no hadith like that. No, there's no
You
hadith
heard
like
on
that.
camera he said there was no
There's no
hadith like that.
There's no hadith like that.
Okay.
It's from, as we said, a child stops being a child if one of 4 things happen.
There's no hadith like that. You heard him say that.
No, let me explain. Can I tell you what the 4 things are? Or do you want to know?
No, I'm listening to you.
Do you want to know or not?
Well, I'm going to read this out.
Do you want to know or not?
I want to know. I know. Go on.
Because at the end of the day, we have to sharpen each other up. If this is the level of argumentation that you're coming with.
You told me that there was no hadith mentioning that those younger than 15 are children.
There's no hadith like that.
That's what you told me.
There's no hadith like
so
that.
I'm showing you it.
It's not sahih. It's not authentic.
It's not authentic.
It's not authentic.
Okay then.
Because that would have sealed the conversation. The fuqaha have already told you that childhood ends at one of 4 things. One of 3 things for a male and one of 4 things for a woman. The three things for a male are when there's hair, like pubic hair in the areas and so on. If they have a wet dream, or what's the third one?
Okay, so this is Sahih Muslim, 1868. I've actually got a hadith.
And for the woman, it's menstruation. Yeah.
Right.
So these are.
Can I get to the point now and basically just destroy you on this point?
Please,
can I just do that?
Hold on, let me finish.
I mean, come on. I mean,
let me finish.
You just lied to your own people.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
So let me just read this out. Read the hadith. Sahih Muslim, 1868. The Messenger of Allah inspected me on the battlefield on the day of Uhud. And I was 14 years old.
Okay.
He did not allow me to take part in the fight. He inspected me on the day of Khandak, and I was 15 years old, and he permitted me to fight. Nafi said, I came to Umar bin Abdul Aziz, who was then caliph, and narrated this tradition to him. He said, surely this is the demarcation between a minor and a major.
Yeah, what is?
A minor's being a child and a major's being somebody who's older.
Yeah,
so he wrote to his governors that he should pay subsistence allowance to anyone who was 15 years or old, but should treat those of less age among children.
Okay, let me explain.
Yeah.
So thank you. You said I was lying. You said I was wrong.
No, what you said
by your own scholars.
No, hold on. Can I explain?
And it's Sahih Muslim, so it's not even Sahih.
What you said.
No, I've already finished this debate.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Fine, you can leave if you like.
No, go Steve.
You're more than welcome to leave.
No, because you've already proven that you've lied, basically.
Okay, you said that the Prophet Muhammad. You said that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that anyone below the age of 15 is a child. The hadith didn't say that at all.
It literally says that.
No, it doesn't say that. 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 No, it doesn't. The hadith does not. The hadith does not. No, sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Seriously, I've already read it out twice.
Are you done?
Are you done? I've already read it
No,
out
I'm not
twice.
done. I haven't started yet, actually. So
Right,
let me answer you.
continue your point,
The
because you're not making any sense right now.
the hadith does not state, like you said on camera, and everyone can rewind it and play it and for their own leisure. Yeah. It doesn't say. The hadith does not say that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said in his words that anyone below the age of 15 is a child. The hadith does not say that. All it says was that you had these two boys who one of them had reached the signs of puberty because of pubic hair and so on, and that there was an inference by Nafi' and others, which I already told you, seeped its way into the Maliki school, where they accepted that the upper limit for the age of a child is 15. In fact, if you say that the age of 15 is a child's age, then that would be in my favor, because I'll say to you then that would defy the
hadith
no,
is
you can marry
Muhammad.
Anyway, look, what I'm saying
The
to you,
hadith is quoting Muhammad.
he didn't say that. But anyone,
He
what did he
did.
say? What did he say that?
I've read it out
Go on,
before.
say what
The
did he
Messenger of Allah inspected me on the battlefield on the day of
Yeah,
Uhud,
okay.
and I was 14 years old.
Right.
He did not allow me to take part in the fight.
Yeah.
He inspected me on the day of Kandak.
Okay.
I was 15 years old, and
Okay.
he permitted to fight. Nafi said, I came to Umar bin Abdul, who was then caliph, and narrated this tradition to
So where does
him.
it say the Prophet said anyone below the age of
So
15?
what's the tradition, bro?
You just said that. Okay. Did you understand
who
this
gives
guy?
traditions in Islam?
Okay. You have.
Wouldn't that be Muhammad?
With all due respect, you have a comprehension issue here.
No, I
With all
don't.
due respect, because you said that the Prophet
is-
said something. Words.
This is what Muhammad's saying.
What did he say?
It's a tradition from him.
He didn't say anything in the hadith.
He said, surely this is a demarcation
Who's he?
between
Who's
a
he?
minor
Who's
and a
he?
major.
Who's
It's
he?
not Umar
Nafi'.
ibn
Nafi'
Abd-
said that.
No, it doesn't say nothing.
It does say that. Read it all again. Read it all again, my friend. No, hold on.
No,
Let
it
me read it
says
again.
he came to
No,
Umar.
read the whole thing again.
Why am I reading it all again?
No, read it all again. Read it again.
The Messenger
No,
of
hold on.
Allah
No, I know what it
inspected
says.
me on the battlefield on the day of Uhud.
Yes.
And I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
He did not allow me to take part in the fight.
Yeah.
He inspected me on the day of Kandak, and I was 15 years old, and he permitted me to fight.
Yeah.
Nafi said, so he's talking about Nafi now. Yeah, fine. I came to Umar Abd Al, you're going to let me finish the thing. Al-Aziz, who was then caliph, and narrated this tradition to him. Who's the tradition from? Muslims, answer the question. Who's the tradition from?
Come on, please. Do me a
No,
favor.
answer the question. Who's the tradition from?
What tradition?
Where do you lot get your traditions from?
Now listen, calm down a bit. Calm down, please.
No, Hijab. Where do you
Calm
get your
down,
traditions
please.
from?
Calm down.
You
Wait,
get them
wait,
from
are we
Muhammad.
speaking
So
English?
Muslims get
The
their traditions
Prophet
from
in that
Muhammad.
hadith,
So
there's no word-
Muhammad was saying.
Okay, no, Muhammad didn't say anything in that hadith.
So where did this come from?
Okay, let me explain something to you, please. Yeah? No, stop doing this.
Ugh.
Just stop. You're showing your own desperation. You're desperado.
There
here.
is no desperation,
You
bro.
are
I'm
desperate.
reading what it
You are
said.
desperate.
Where do your traditions
Okay,
come
let me
from?
explain something to you. For something to be narrated upon the Prophet ﷺ as something that he said, it would have to have key words. The words are like sami'tu, I heard from the Prophet, or qala, or he said. None of those keywords are there.
So why was
hold on.
this
Oh,
written
and
down?
as well.
Why
Yeah.
was this written down?
Let me explain to you. This hadith, even in the English that you've read, does not say, for all the GCSE students that are doing English literature
That's
comprehension
funny
test.
because you're not even GCSE level.
Okay,
At this point.
fine. Yeah, I can, I can talk about that. No problem.
It is what it is, bro. It's not my fault you don't understand
I'm
what
not
the
GCSE
tradition
level.
is.
I told my
Because
professors
in
at Oxford
Islam
that.
you have tradition.
When they gave me a
most of your
degree.
sources come from traditions.
What are your qualifications, by the way?
What's my qualifications? Well, I'm a university student. I don't need to tell you the rest of that.
Okay, so you have not graduated yet.
No, I haven't.
All right, I've got 4 degrees,
That's fine.
so I'm higher than you, right?
That means nothing.
So why?
I didn't mean what?
No, you
It's
just
psychology.
Hold on. You
I mean,
just-
that means nothing.
No, hold on.
You don't even know what I'm studying. I'm not going to tell you anyway. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
No,
What do you mean, excuse me? It has nothing to do with what I'm
You just said
saying.
I'm GCSE student level, so I have to prove to you that I'm not.
Well, come
higher
on,
than
bring
you.
the degree. You haven't even proved anything.
Okay, no problem. I'll bring them next
Okay,
time.
so now can we get back to the point?
Next thing is, we'll get back to the point.
Because we're just going on a
Since
tangent.
I've now put you in
Right,
your place.
It says here,
Now, let's move
you
on.
haven't put me
Where
anywhere,
did
bro.
the Prophet say it?
He said,
Where did he say it?
he said, surely this
Who
is
said,
demarcation
who's he?
between a minor and a major.
Never said that.
Right. Bro, the tradition comes from Muhammad.
Okay, now you're acting the fool. Either you are the fool or you're acting it, but I don't care.
Neither.
Look, now let's move on.
This is your hadith.
All right, fine.
This comes from your prophet.
Well,
so
did he say
unless people just write hadith for the sake of it,
no problem.
and just quote random man
I'm done.
for no good reason,
John.
this comes from your prophet.
Okay, fine, no problem. Thank you very much.
So if it comes from your prophet,
he didn't say it.
He
didn't say that.
Mary was 13 or 14.
You know it is what it is. But this hadith says that those who are younger than...
Doesn't say that.
Well, the hadith says that.
Doesn't say that.
The hadith says
No, it
those
doesn't.
who are younger than 15 are children. That's what the hadith
No,
says.
that's what Nafa said.
The hadith says that.
And what Nafa meant, like what is the contemporary Maliki opinion, is that the upper limit for adulthood is 15. That's what it means. Now we've
Doesn't even say that in the verse, mate.
It's not even a verse. Just move on. You're
Doesn't say
wasting
that
my
here
time
in
as
the
well, like
hadith.
your friend.
Well, seriously.
I mean, you're wasting my time. You haven't even got to the point. All you've done is semantics.
You don't have time to waste.
I
You've
brought
come
actual
to-
sources.
Right,
All
next.
you've done is tell me
Okay,
I'm
no
shaking.
problem, no problem.
And now, I don't have a GCSE or something. I don't even know what you're saying.
No, you just said that to me actually about the GCSE.
Yeah, I did, because you brought up some
Alright,
wisecrack
fine.
about those who have GCSE,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
No problem. Can I ask you a question? John, fine. Can I ask you a question? Is your general argument like this, so I understand you and you understand me, yeah? Your general argument that it's immoral to marry a minor or to have intercourse with a minor, the Prophet did it, therefore he's not a true prophet. Is that your argument?
Well, no, it's not just that. The other thing is your Quran clearly states that you can divorce a child.
Fine. So that's immoral and therefore Islam is wrong.
Within the paradigm of Islam, it's okay to divorce children.
I understand.
Therefore, you can marry children.
So your argument is Islam is immoral.
marry children.
Fine. So your argument is Islam is immoral because of this, and therefore Islam is false.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's not the only reason why Islam is false.
No,
We'll get to
fine,
the
but
other
it's
reasons.
one of the reasons, right?
Yeah,
so it's a falsifier of Islam. It's a disqualifier of the truth, right?
Right, yeah.
All right. Now I want to ask you a question. Since we've talked about Islam for a long time,
You haven't answered any more questions.
no worries. My question to you is as follows. If you look at the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 18.
Now we can
No.
No,
You
you
are-
didn't answer your question.
You can run away.
answer his
Run away. Run
didn't
away.
answer my question.
Run away.
Go on.
Run away.
didn't
Run
answer
away.
the question. Go on.
It clearly states that you can take the young girls for yourself.
No, you can't.
Okay. The Babylonian Talmud, okay, which Jews believe
I don't
in.
care about the Babylonian Talmud. I'm a Christian. You do know this. In fact, you said the early church fathers don't say that the Spirit is
So what is
with the
it?
Father.
So what is it saying?
Even though I could
What is
debunk
it saying
you with
about?
that easily, mate.
What is it saying about? If you look at Deuteronomy chapter 21 verses 10 to 14, it's also giving you general permission.
No,
Islamic
it's Deuteronomy 22 clearly says...
22, 21.
Well, I'm talking about 22 because they're all in the same
Okay.
context.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 22 says that you have to wait a month when you take a slave woman captive, not a slave girl, a slave woman captive. You have to wait a month. They have to pare their nails, and then they'll be ready for marriage. And if they're not,
For sex.
well, no, marriage.
Doesn't
marriage
say.
sex.
No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say that.
Well,
You're
it
not-
does say
no,
that. It does say that.
no, hold on.
I'll show you.
Go back to 31:18, which you ran away from. Very clearly, the Bible is telling you, that you can take the young ones for yourself after you've annihilated the battlefield. Now, if the general argument that he's put forward is that marrying prepubescents is something which disqualifies something from being the truth, then we've already
Where
explained
does
how.
it say you can have sex with them?
Just let me explain. Let me explain.
can explain what you want.
All right. Well, the Hebrew word that's mentioned is taf. Now, the word that you don't know the Hebrew language, you don't know the Arabic language, you don't know any language except for
I
English.
don't know any language apparently.
Except for English.
This is the intelligence of Islam right now. Intelligence.
Okay. Now let's look at the Hebrew. The Hebrew script in the book of Numbers, chapter number 31, verse 18, it refers to the young ones as taf. If you look at any lexicon of the Hebrew language, as per what the rabbis themselves in the Talmud have said.
What rabbis?
For example,
I don't care what some random rabbi said.
It's not random.
Go to my religion because I am a Christian.
All right, I'm going to
not
religion.
a Talmudic Jew.
Okay, can I ask
you
a question?
keep bringing up these random
The
they mean nothing.
the Old Testament is written in one language.
What do you mean? It's written in Hebrew.
Okay,
That
great.
means nothing.
Great. Now,
It means nothing.
It doesn't
Matthew
mean anything.
wrote his gospel in Hebrew.
Oh, no
so
problem.
what you're saying means nothing.
Well, hold on. It means something because obviously
mean
for us to understand the book, the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible as the Jews call it, we have to read it in Hebrew.
We have to go.
Now,
to the,
what I'm saying to you
you
is,
have to go to the Christian
What I'm
church
saying
to
to-
interpret a Christian
What I'm-
Bible. I don't care about random Talmudic scholars. I don't care about them. They're heretics. They believe that Jesus died in excrement. I don't care what they believe.
no
You understand
problem.
what I'm saying?
Christian scholarship says the same thing, and I can get you references.
Which Christian scholarship says that
I
Jesus
can-
died in excrement?
No, not that. I'm saying to you, Christian scholarship on this verse in chapter 31, verse 18.
Show
when
me
the-
early church father. Go on.
Church fathers don't. Hold on. Did you say early church father?
Yeah, show me an early church
Oh, hold on. Early church fathers, you will not find exegeses except for a few of the Old Testament by early church fathers.
That's wrong. He's
So why are you asking me to? Hold on.
The reason why is because you mentioned
No. You just said that.
So what's early? Whatever's early apostolic is correct.
No. I didn't say that. I said to you now, if you're asking me about an exegetical point, yes, church fathers like Origen. Oh, no, he's not even a church father. Origin of Alexandria. He did actually write. But even if
He
you're talking
wasn't
about
a church father, he was a damn heretic. I'm just going to
fine,
say it straight on camera.
fine, ecclesiastic church writer, whatever, yeah. Other ones, you know, Tertullian, others.
Right.
All of these church fathers, you will not find many of them delve deeply into the works of exegesis.
Oh, no. Irenaeus didn't, Ignatius
Exactly.
didn't.
So
Polycarp
only a
didn't.
few of them do. So you're asking me to find you. It's like asking me a tafsir of they haven't even done tafsir or
The
exegesis
reason why
of
is because
that.
they're early and apostolic.
Okay, so why are you asking me to get me that?
See?
You're asking me to give me an exegesis. They didn't even do exegesis on this.
It's like me asking you, did Ibn Kathir say this? And you believe Ibn Kathir is at least early enough to know the people that knew your prophet.
Yeah, but if you're asking me about
Or Ibn Abbas, the ink of the Ummah, at least early enough to know the people who know your
I'm saying to you now,
Right.
if you look at the Hebrew language, if you look at the verse, chapter 31, verse 18 of Numbers, you look at what words are used, which is taf, the young girls for yourself, lachem, young girls, taf, lachem. Have the young children for yourself.
It's about
So you can have sex with the young children for yourself.
doesn't say sex. Okay, so let's read it out. 31:8. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive yourself. What does it say? Women children.
Women
What's
children.
a woman children?
Women children, huh?
What's a woman children?
Women children, girls. That's what it means.
No.
Women children means girls.
Young women.
Yeah.
Young women.
Yeah, tough.
Young women. You didn't hear what I said, did you?
Well, children.
Young, it doesn't mean children. Young women.
Says the word
In
children.
fact, my Bible says that a
what's
girl
your Bible?
who's 12 was a child.
What's your Bible?
It's KJV.
Yeah, okay, fine. But if you look at, for example, there's more than one Bible, yeah? So you have to once again look at the different translations.
Again, these Muslims going off.
Nevertheless,
I
let's
mean,
go with yours.
it's
Let's go with yours. Let's go with yours. It says children there.
In the Bible, in
says
Luke,
children
in
there.
Luke's got, allow me to finish.
So your God,
talking about
your God
It's not
allowed
allowing me to finish, right?
children
it
to be
says
raped.
in Luke, right, that a girl at the age of 12 was a young girl. That's why Jesus says, Tawfiya Kumi, young girl arise. She was a child at the age of 12. This is the Islam, this is not pedophilia.
All right, here you go. You believe that Jesus is part of the Trinity, correct?
Oh, why are we going with the Trinity now?
Okay, no, I'm gonna link
You
it.
literally just started talking about numbers 18.
Okay, do you not have a conversation? You made your point. Do
You're
wanna-
talking about
Are you
numbers
scared?
18.
Are you scared of my
Why
response?
are you scared of numbers 18?
Are you
Was
scared?
it because I said it?
Are you scared of my response?
I'm just scared of you too,
Yeah,
bro.
but your response is going to be a non-argument.
So look how many of you are needed.
No, but I'm going to say
No,
your
he came
response
over.
is
I
going
know
to be
he's
a non-argument
okay.
because God didn't instruct Moses to say that.
Okay, no
so whether
worries.
you say that was from God.
Okay.
So let me
okay.
just debunk this right now. It says in Deuteronomy.
Can't debunk
22
it.
No, it's easy. It's easy. Right. And Ezekiel
God,
16,
your
for
God,
example,
you Jesus. Excuse me.
Have you heard
Let
of
me.
Ezekiel 16?
Your Jesus, who you believe is God, who's also the author of the Old Testament because he's part of the Trinity. He said to the people in Numbers 31:18,
he say
take
that?
the taf, the young girls.
Correct him, it was
Taf,
Young women.
young
It was
girls.
Moses and it was young women.
Girls.
Are
Young
you
women.
saying-
Young
It
girls.
doesn't say
God
girls.
said
It says
that?
young
Young
women.
girls.
Just
It
correct
says
him.
young women in the
Rape them.
verse.
Rape them.
Read the verse.
Take them.
You are such a
Take them
liar.
for yourself.
You are such.
Take them for yourself.
Read
Such
the
a
verse
liar.
and
Take them
correct
for
him,
yourself.
because he's lying
Why
now.
you were
How do you
literally
like it?
lying? Why you were
Because God never
How could
said
your
that.
How could your God allow this?
You are lying.
How could your
To
God
my
allow this?
face.
How could your God allow
He
this?
never said in the verse.
How could your God allow this?
Doesn't say that in the verse.
How could your God allow this?
Your God allows you
How
to
could
rape
your God
children.
allow this?
No, 1 minute.
How
bro.
could your God allow it?
Don't allow him to go on a
How could your God allow that?
Bro, don't go. Look, talk to me, Hijab. Talk to me. Why are you going over there? Talk to me. Right? The verse doesn't actually say. Look at him.
How can your God
Okay,
allow
I'll
this?
do that as well. Yeah, I'll do that as well. Even though I'm not 6'5", but I'll do that as well. Right?
Squirming.
I'm trying to stand out. That's why. Because it's
Can I ask,
think because
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? You've got your own interpretation of the verse, okay? Correct, yeah?
well, it's
Which
one
is
of many
okay, fine.
interpretations, but
Your
I know.
interpretation is different to mine, correct?
Well, I was actually going to go for the
No, no,
Bible to
okay,
interpret the
but
Bible.
John,
Because you should
I-
let
I-
Scripture
okay.
interpret Scripture.
Let me say something.
That's why it says in Deuteronomy 22 that you are to
Now
marry
you're
a
talking
woman.
over me. John,
Not to sleep with them
John,
like in
bro,
Islam.
just give me a second, yeah?
Go on.
You have a different interpretation to those rabbis, correct?
Of course, the heretics.
Okay, the heretics, you have a different interpretation, correct? All right. The issue is not your interpretation or their interpretation. The issue is that can it be in a scholarly way, which is in line with the Hebrew language, interpreted in a way that would allow such a thing.
I'm literally going through the Bible
hold
for
on,
what it says.
hold on. Let me finish. Let me
says
finish.
young
Let
women.
me finish. If you might not look at the Bible and think of all these things. Taking the young girls for yourself means take them and do whatever you want with them.
because you
defile
assume
them,
pedophilia, because that's
desecrate
what your
them,
religion teaches.
deal with them, pry their
Your
legs
religion
open,
teaches
put
you
your penis
to
in them,
assume pedophilia.
cut their, you know, all that stuff.
That's what your
It
religion
doesn't say in the
teaches.
Bible
And so
that
on.
you can divorce the young
So
girls.
if-
So that's what your religion. Hold on 1 minute. What I'm not saying is what you're saying. You're saying the verse says had sex with him, but nowhere does the verse say that.
Say that. Yeah, he just said
So you're
that.
assuming pedophilia, and then maybe that's because you're a dirty one. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, the Bible.
I
doesn't
do have
say
a-
that.
I do
The
ha- I do
Bible
have a
is not
dirty
Islam.
mind.
The Quran.
I do have a
of course,
dirty mind.
course.
Yeah, of course.
Because Islam teaches that.
I have to listen to this guy all the time. I've got
Islam
to have a
teaches
dirty
that.
mind.
What do you mean all the time? I've only spoken to you today once.
Listen.
The last time I
Why
spoke
are
to
you
you was 2
putting
years
words
ago.
in the Bible that
I
are
mean,
not
come
there?
on, bro.
It
Okay,
doesn't
let's
say
get
that.
back to the point. Let's get back to the point.
Yeah, go on,
do
go
you
on.
agree with me that the Bible can and has been interpreted in a way which would indicate that young girls can be taken for sexual purposes? Yes or no?
If the Bible's interpreted in many different ways.
Can it be?
irrelevant.
No, it's
Arius
not. Can it be interpreted like that? Yes or no?
Arius interpreted the Bible in different ways as well.
In a scholarly way, which is in line with hermeneutics in language. Yes or no? Does the Hebrew term taf can it be explained as has been? Can it be explained as take these girls and have sex with them? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so then that
Because
case
later in
great.
Deuteronomy,
Great. In that case, Yeah.
God says, or
Yeah.
Jesus says, that you must marry a woman. You are not to lay down with them.
That's
you must
right.
marry a woman. Anybody,
That's
in fact,
right.
it says in Deuteronomy 22:25 that anybody who takes hold of a woman and rapes her, right, would receive death.
get me the verse, please.
Okay.
Just read it out. Read it out, because now this guy is known for this nonsense. Yeah.
I'm known for this nonsense.
Do me a favor before you read.
I'm known for this nonsense.
No.
Sorry.
Do me a favor,
Mohammed John, I'm known for this
John.
nonsense.
Do me a favor before you read out. What is it? 22:5. Yeah. Can you read out 22, 21, 10 to 15? Can you read that out as well?
Right.
Can you do that for me, please?
Yeah, I'm right.
Please.
So are you saying,
Now let him read it out.
Are you saying Islam doesn't allow?
No, I'm not. We already spoke about Islam for half an hour.
Let's
45
read it,
minutes.
because obviously...
He wants to get away from
Did he
it.
say yes?
No, we spoke
He
about
didn't
it.
answer it.
We spoke about
He
it.
just
Yeah, he did
went,
answer my
You're scared of
question.
you're scared of Christianity.
No, I'm here talking about it. I've got
Come on,
to
read the
verse,
Bible.
right.
Read the Bible.
Then shall they bring out the damsel to the door of their father's house.
What's
and the
this?
men of her
What verse
city-
is this?
You said Deuteronomy 22:21.
No, 21, chapter 21, yeah, verses 10 to 14.
No, I'm going to 22, mate. I don't know why you've gone to 21.
No, I want you to read that first.
No, I'm reading the Bible in context, mate. I'm not just reading every
I know,
verse
but
you
can you read this bit first and then read your bit? Is that right?
Oh, well, I've got no problem
Don't
with
be
it.
scared, man.
It doesn't refute anything I've got
Oh,
to
no,
say.
no
The
problem.
Bible is sound.
Just read it.
Maybe it's your interpretation, but the
Just
Bible's
read it,
sound. So 21, what? 21:5.
Okay. Just
21:5, did you say?
No, I said 10 to 15.
10 to 15, all right. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God have delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seen amongst the beautiful women, and as a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife,
Say it properly, please.
that I'm saying
No, because you said it in a bit of a muffled way. So say it again.
that thou wouldest, because I'm speaking KJV right now,
Yeah, it's fine.
wouldest have her to thy wife, not to have sex with her immediately, but to her wife, then you shall bring her home to your house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put off the raiment from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that, thou shalt go in
What verse?
unto her.
What verse is this?
The verses you just described.
No, it's fine. I just want to know. Why are you getting upset for?
It's because you keep asking me what verse.
No, I just want to know what number you on now.
Okay, I'm on 12, so I'm on verse 12.
Beautiful.
right?
Yeah, go on.
And I'll read it again.
Yeah.
Then thou shalt bring her home.
Yeah, bring her
to
home.
thine house.
To the house.
And she shall shave her head
Shave
and
her head.
pare her nails.
Yeah.
Because she's in mourning. She shaved her
Of
head
course.
and pare her nails. Right.
Of course.
And she shall put off the raiment of her captivity from off her.
Of course.
And shall remain in thine house. And bewail her father and her mother a full month, obviously, because you're mourning.
Of course.
So, yeah. Of course. And after that, thou shalt go in unto her.
Meaning what?
And be her husband. So you'll be her husband.
What does in onto her mean?
No, but what does husband mean?
Have
What does
sex.
husband mean?
Have sex.
Husband.
What,
husband.
it
as
says
a
literally
husband.
here
Yeah, I know, I understand.
that thou wouldst have her to
Okay,
be
but
unto thy wife.
John, I'm asking you a question. Well, who is this referring to?
It's referring to captive women.
Captive women.
Yeah.
So now when she's this you've got a captive woman. Just tell me if this is right or wrong. You've got a captive woman. You take her to your house, to thine house.
Yep. To thine house, yes, beautiful KJV.
And you be her husband.
No.
And you be her husband.
I haven't. No,
Because
no.
she's
Be
your
her
wife,
husband.
as it says
Bro,
here.
let's
This
take it
is
step by
sex
step.
slave
Let's do what the
What do
Bible
you mean step by step?
What the Bible says.
These are
What the Bible said.
slave?
No, it said it didn't say that straight away. It said you take the captive, and then you tell the
be her
captive to
husband
cut the
to
nail off. Correct? To cut the nails.
To pare her nails, because that's what they did traditionally.
I know. And then shave her hair.
Yeah, shave her hair.
I'm asking a question. What if she doesn't want to do any of that?
Doesn't really claim it. Doesn't claim it. Doesn't say you force her.
No problem.
Can you show me where the verse says you force
No,
her?
I didn't say. I'm asking you a question.
I believe that it was, allow me to finish. So I believe it was traditional custom at the time for people in mourning to shave their hair.
Well, if most women I know don't want to shave their hair, all right? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Would you agree with that?
We're not Israelites, bro. I would agree with that.
Everyone's
Most women here don't want to shave their hair, correct?
I agree with that. We're not Israelites, bro.
But this is again, this is a cultural norm of.
This is a cultural norm of Israel.
Yeah, of
Middle
course.
East.
So now you got a captive.
And now he's
The
gonna
woman.
change
No,
things.
excuse me. You got a captive.
But it's like me.
No,
saying,
excuse me.
If you're a slave
Let me
woman
finish.
and you have a husband,
Let's just read the Bible, man.
How many?
Don't be scared of the Bible. Don't be scared.
It's the same thing. Why are you putting words into the Bible?
I'm scared
Don't
of it.
add to the Bible.
Don't be scared of the Bible.
I'm scared of it.
I was actually reading out.
We can answer him, but I'll throw that question
No,
back.
but hold on,
regarding
guys,
the captive.
please, because I want
Yeah, go on.
because I was having a conversation in the first place, right?
Don't scrum, man.
Your Quran has the same problem. For example, it says in Surah 2.
Stop doing two cookie fallacy.
It said-
Deal with your Bible. Like I
Wait,
dealt with my
wait.
Quran, I didn't mention the Bible. did I?
It's not a fallacy to point out
He's got a hadith
faults
that
in
he
your
wants you
religion.
to deal with.
You're
Can you
embarrassing
deal with
yourself
the
at this
hadith?
moment.
I already dealt with all the hadith. Didn't I? I didn't mention the Bible
It
once.
says in
haven't.
chapter 4,
Let's
verse
deal with
24,
In
that
order
you can take captive women,
and to defend the
even
Bible,
if they're married.
to defend the
and in fact,
Bible, you have
your
to go for the
prophet
Quran.
went on an expedition to Ortos, which is in
So you
Middle
need my
East,
book to
right?
defend yours.
It's not your book, it's
You
hadith.
need my book to defend yours.
Hadith, mate. But is that your book?
You need, yeah.
Okay,
Hadith is the book.
acceptable then, isn't it?
Yeah,
Your
so
prophet
you're
went
using
out
my books
there
to defend yours.
And they took excellent women
You need the
and they
Bible.
had sex with them without marriage.
Okay, no
What
problem.
this Bible is saying is that you need to marry women in order to have sex
no,
with
actually,
them.
let's see what it
You're
says.
wrong.
You're
wrong.
What it says is
You're
that.
being a
Naturally,
pride high mouth, that's fine.
That's what
You're
they
wrong.
say.
So what it says there is that you can take the captive women, they cut their nails, they shave their head,
They can choose to, yeah.
they wait 1 month, right?
Yeah, 1 month. You don't have sex with them.
Yeah, you don't have sex with them for a month.
Yeah. But your prophet did. He had sex with women straight away.
No, he didn't, and that's a different
Yes, he
topic.
did. We can go to the
No,
hadith.
You're
He
scared of
literally
the
did
Bible,
that.
that's why you're going to the hadith.
No, you're scared of hadith. That's why you
No,
want me to
I
go to
dealt with the
Bible.
hadith for 50 minutes.
No,
You
you
haven't.
didn't deal with
You
it.
didn't deal with
I
anything.
didn't mention Bible
All you
at
did
all.
was
Come
prove
on,
my
you-
I didn't
point.
mention Bible at all.
All you did was prove my point that Islam allows pedophilia. That's all you did. It's not-
You got another hadith
this is
for
a
you.
broken record for us
Hijab,
now.
you got
You're
another
boring.
hadith, man.
You're literally
boring.
It was a
Come
cult
on, if
first
you're
when
not
you were
afraid of
coping,
the hadith,
and the
there's
only
another
argument you
hadith.
had was,
Say,
oh,
bro.
later scholars said this. So your whole religion is based on what other men who didn't know your prophet
no,
said.
no problem. Thank you very much.
Some random man just comes to defend your
that's your
prophet.
strongest
John,
argument. Now
every
look.
boy got a hadith that he's going to deal with next.
All right, so
there's one more.
You're not going to do any of my points, sorry.
no. We're talking about. You said it yourself. You said after we deal with the Quran and Hadith, let's go to the Bible. We spent 45 minutes of Quran and
And you
Hadith.
ignored
Now,
everything I said.
when we're talking
and
about the
ran
Bible,
to
we're going to the
around
Hadith
and
again.
students, which has nothing to do with my religion.
That shows you need our Quran even to defend your own book.
Not really, no.
You need it so much, don't you?
No,
You're obsessed
your
with it.
paradigm is the
You're
Quran.
obsessed with the Quran.
Your paradigm is the Quran.
You're obsessed with
so
the
I'm
Quran.
using that demonic
And you're
book
obsessed
to
with Muslims.
show
You're
that
obsessed with us.
that your
Admire
religion
us.
promotes pedophilia.
Are you jealous?
Jealous of what?
Are you jealous?
Answer this question.
I think you're jealous. Why are you talking about the Quran? We're talking about the Bible.
We're jealous of the
You're
book of
scared to mention-
paedophilia, the Quran.
Yeah, well-
we're jealous of that.
Okay,
Even you
whatever.
admitted it's paedophilia. So come on.
No problem.
Even though the Quran says itself
Okay, whatever.
that it's a light to all men, and it's a clear guidance too, and also it's clear.
Okay,
the
you go
book is a clear Arabic, 15
We mentioned
verse
the Quran.
1.
Are you scared to talk about the Bible?
So your
Be
own
honest.
Quran.
You're scared to talk about
It's supposed to be
children,
clear.
You're scared to talk about
But
the Bible.
you've said that it-
You're scared to
it
make, you're
ordains
scared to read the Bible,
pedophilia.
aren't
It's the same
you?
argument.
He's scared. He's scared to
You
even
said
read his
your
own book.
clean Quran
He is
that
scared
your
to
God
read
is
his own
saying
book.
is clear, ordains pedophilia. That's what we
So
got.
after,
Because he
after
says
a month,
that in
after,
Quran, you
let
can
me
have
ask you a
sex
question.
with
You're a
the
Christian. I want to ask you
He
and you.
said it
Yeah?
himself.
You ask me a question. A Muslim can I ask you a question. A Christian.
I've already answered your question.
I want to know a question. Are you scared of answering this
I
question?
already answered
Have
the
you no
question.
question?
You don't like the answer, but
No,
we
I want to
answered
ask you a
the
question. So I want to see if I understood it correctly. What Deuteronomy chapter
Oh,
20?
man, this is boring, man.
Okay.
What's
Okay.
going on?
No, but it's boring when we go to the juice of the matter.
No, it's boring when you're not bringing a point.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. My question is, from my understanding of our reading of Deuteronomy chapter 21 verses 10 to 15, is that when a man goes into war and there are captives, women captives,
Right.
and you find them, you get the captives. You don't say to them, would you like to come with? No, you take the captives. So captives mean they're prisoners now. Yeah?
Of course. Israel did that. And your prophet did it as well. So it was-
no, so okay, great.
You're in no better
you should,
position, mate.
so you should have no problem.
I've got no problem with the Old
So you
Testament.
should have no problem.
This is New Covenant.
That's my
New
point.
Covenant, New Testament. Don't have a problem.
The prophet did it as well. Anyway,
Your prophet took captives as well.
No, I don't.
My
I don't,
God
I don't deny.
never said you
I
had to
don't deny.
rape women.
I don't.
Your
deny.
God said you can.
Well,
Yeah.
calm
Your
down.
God said you
So
can.
after he's taken the
based on
captives.
Old Testament. He
said
keeps
you
bringing
can
up
After,
Old Testament.
after,
Your God
we're
said
not
you
talking
can
about
rape
Quran. We're
women.
talking about the Deuteronomy
Your
now.
God said you rape women. So you
Well,
should have a problem with us.
I'm saying to you, if you're going to be morally consistent, let's look at your book. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
All right. So if we go to Deuteronomy chapter 21 verses 10 to 15, it says clearly that you take this woman against her will. She's now a prisoner.
Yeah, she's a captive.
Yeah, she's a captive. Good. Now I like it. Now you're talking the truth. Now you're being sincere.
what it says.
Now you're being ingenuous. Now you're being authentic. Now you're behaving
And
yourself.
you was authentic the whole time.
Now
we're
you're
speaking,
behaving
yeah?
yourself.
That's funny, isn't
Now
it?
you're behaving
You
yourself.
wasn't authentic the whole time.
Now he's behaving himself, paperboy. Isn't he behaving himself?
Get to the
He's
point.
behaving.
Yeah,
Could
but
you
let's
stop
make the
patronising
point.
me and get to the point, please? It's really
No,
dumb.
he's behaving himself.
So
Yeah,
you
but
don't
let's
want to
make the
talk
point.
about
He's
you don't want
behaving
to talk about the Bible.
Okay.
You said I was running from the Bible, and now you don't want to talk
No,
about
let's talk
it.
about it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So
And
from
stop
what I
being disingenuous. It doesn't help.
Okay, I fine. We take the woman now against her will as a prisoner, as a captive.
Right.
Now you take her home. She's crying. No, I don't want to be here. Please shut your mouth.
That's what your prophet did.
Wait, hold on. Shut your mouth. Well, hold on.
Literally did it.
You let
What
it
is
cry
wrong
for
with that,
20
bro?
days.
Your prophet did it.
You don't shush her right away.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
All this theatrics is
She's
not helping your religion.
She's wailing. She's crying. Her whatever. No problem.
And Aisha was
Come with
wailing
me.
and crying when Muhammad took her and raped her.
Yeah, well, we're dealing with one thing at a time. We've
We're
already dealt
dealing
with
with
the
one
Quran.
thing at a time.
Don't shush
You
her.
can't
It's
have it.
okay.
See
One
him.
rule for
He's
thee,
triggered.
another rule for me. Here's
See how
what
he's
it is with
triggered?
Islam, isn't
See how
it?
triggered you are?
Double standards,
Oh,
isn't it?
she's crying, begging.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
Aisha was crying.
No.
Please don't touch me, Muhammad.
There's no such verse.
Yeah, because she's a baby.
No
wasn't
hadith.
she? She was a baby.
Why you talk about your mum?
My mum.
Yeah, your mum. Yeah.
Okay, so
but
we're
there's no
now we're
verse like that
attacking
in
my
the
mum.
Bible
This is
either.
what Muslims do.
But there's
This is what
no
Muslims do when
verse
they
like that in the
do
Bible either.
You've officially
Your mum.
lost this
Yeah, but there's no
debate.
Give
verse
her your mum.
about crying people
Okay, my mum.
either. So you've
My
made
mum's a
that up.
beautiful woman.
Yeah, okay, give her my
She's a
number.
beautiful
Give her my
woman.
number.
She doesn't need your
Give her my
number.
number.
Yeah, but
You're
let's-
ugly.
no,
She won't want to touch
No,
you.
no.
Let's keep to the
Well,
actual
anyway, give her my
debate.
number.
Come on.
And hijab, I'm not going to stoop to
that's
level.
a
I'm
diversion.
going to say your mother's
You already
beautiful.
have.
No, hold on. I'm going to say your mother's a beautiful woman.
Good, yeah.
She's a really beautiful
Well,
woman.
I've said the same
Right?
thing about yours. Let me see a picture.
No,
please.
no, you said my.
Show me a picture.
You said my mother's ugly.
Can I see your mum?
You don't need to see my mother.
I want to see your mum. She's
say your
beautiful. Let me
mum's
see.
beautiful.
Can I see your mum?
Your mother's a beautiful
Can I
woman.
see what she looks like?
I'll say that. Your mother's a
Can I
beautiful
see?
woman.
Can I see your mum?
You don't need to see my mum.
I want to see your mum, please.
You don't need to see my mum. Why are you winking at me, bro? There's something wrong
I want
with
to see your mum.
you. You don't need to see
All
my
right,
mum.
moving on.
The mum jokes are not helping you.
Yes,
all
I
you
like
do
it.
is all you're doing is
Now
looking
move
like
on.
a toddler. You
No
do realise
problem.
that?
Okay, so
I
the
got that
Bible
stuff
says,
in year two.
Bible
You did-
says,
you did
Bible
realise that.
says, you take now the woman against her will.
So you're back on the topic.
Yes, we are.
So why are you talking to him then? He has nothing to do with the topic.
logic.
You're talking to me.
Fine.
Focus on me.
Fine, no problem. I'll
Okay.
focus on you.
Good.
And if you like, I'll focus on your mum as well.
I'll
Now,
focus on your mum as well.
Yeah, you can try.
Because I like your mum. She's a decent
You've
woman.
already spoken about
Your
my
mother's a
prophet.
decent
Anything
woman.
above that is a nonsense
No,
at all.
I don't care. Your mother's a decent woman and I like her.
I don't, you don't even know what she
Because
looks
I'm
like.
not. I'm not.
She might be a Hitler.
Oh, so she's Hitler. You believe your mother's Hitler?
Did I
You
say
believe
that?
your mother's Hitler?
Did I say that? Yeah.
You actually believe that?
So you
dude?
take now the
Oh, man.
captive is taken.
Wow, that's pathetic.
Take the captive by the
Yeah,
hand.
like Muhammad.
Yeah. Now she's screaming, she's wailing.
like
Now you tell her, shave your hair off.
You got
I
nothing
don't want to
else?
shave my hair. I like my look.
Does it say-
Shut
does
your
it say she
mouth
was
and
forced
shave
to?
your hair.
The
that all
Bible
you
doesn't
got?
say she was forced to do
Okay,
anything.
kinky stuff going on.
Come on, hijab.
What, have you got a whip
come
now?
up with something.
If
The
she
Bible
doesn't, I'll go
nowhere
ask the
says
question.
that you are to force women to shave their heads. You've got that wrong. You assume that's what it says
What
in the
if
verse.
he says no?
It doesn't say that in the verse.
But it says that if the what does the Bible say about? Oh, excuse me. What does the Bible say about disobedient slaves?
What's the Bible say? Which verse? Which verse? Go to chapter verse. I don't know what's funny, bro.
What's the Bible say about
You'll
disobedient
find
slaves?
something funnier than
What can you do to a Bible, to a slave if they're disobedient? If you tell them to
You
do
can
something,
be a slave, yeah.
you can be the slave. Oh, thank you very much. So now the Bible here, the captive, she's being disobedient.
But
You take your
those
whip out.
rules were for Hebrews only. So
Spawn!
yeah, Hebrews only, not aliens.
Spawn!
You would have to free Hebrew slave in 7
Okay,
years.
I'll cut my hair off.
And that's what Muhammad did to Aisha.
She should do what you're about to do with your hair. Cut your hair
Aisha
off.
was beaten by Muhammad.
I'll ask you a
Aisha was
question.
beaten by
So what's the
Muhammad.
point?
When your hair was cut, part of
You
it is
are
cut, part
allowed
of it is not
for
cut.
little girls to be taken
Were
and
you part of
raped by
this
a
process?
prophet.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Now, after she's now 1 month in the house, we're sure that she doesn't have
You're
any.
not bringing a point, hijab.
No, that's what I'm trying to understand
No,
the
no,
Bible.
you're assuming what the Bible says. I've already read what it says.
What does it say?
I went to
After a month, what can you do
22.
after a month?
You can marry the woman.
No, can you do something else?
You can have sex with someone you've married.
Okay, beautiful.
Because she becomes
She's
your
a
wife.
slave that has had her hair shaven off
And then after a
and her,
month-
and her nails cut.
and after a month, you
and
can marry.
now you can defile her the way you like.
No, you can't. So let's go to the verse again.
What do you think about that?
Do you what do I think about that?
Do you find that- is that
hold on.
morally abhorrent?
You coming from some kind of
What do you think
higher
about
moral... Don't ignore him. You coming from
I'm
some...
not- What do
you think about
ignore
that?
him, bro.
About what?
Ignore him.
What do you think
No,
about
it's the
that?
theatrics.
What do you
The
think about that?
theatrics.
About what?
Like,
About you can have
people
sex
are
with
So the
somebody.
Bible
listening.
doesn't
Where
say...
does it say that?
you
Where does it
take
say that?
captive women...
We
and
don't
then
need
say that?
we don't need the
How about
theatrics.
husbands? How about husbands?
22,
Stick to
that you can
gentlemen.
actually marry a woman
As we can see
and
here,
then you would have sex with her.
done.
I'm not talking.
The moral argument that this man has put forward.
This guy has not brought any argument to my point.
I'm done with you.
You're done with me because you're scared. You didn't want to go to the hadith. Your prophet, you literally admitted on camera that it's okay to have sex with children. That's your religion, bro.
No.
So now you're just copying.
Are you here to give me your mum's number?
No. I'm here to give you. If you want
Can I have your mum's number, please?
Can I have your mum's number?
07.
Can I have your mum's number?
No, it's alright. I want yours.
I don't want
Show me a
give you
picture of her.
mine.
What she look like?
She's not interested in you, mate.
Maybe let's find out.
Let's
find out.
She's not interested in
I
you.
want to find out if your mum will be interested.
Right, so now you're doing mum jokes, is that it?
No, yeah,
is that all you've got?
You're talking about prophet
Because
and
your
this and
religion's
paedophile.
talking about
About your mum.
That's why we're talking about mums right
With
now.
the people of the scripture, unless it's in a
And
befitting
if I have
way.
a child with your mum, he won't come out like you.
You're a funny guy, bro. You're a funny guy, bro. Oh, your prophet was shaking. Your prophet was shaking, though, wasn't it? Your prophet was shaking. He shook when he received revelations, didn't he?
That's what maybe.
I know it hurts, bro. He shook when he received revelations, didn't he? He was shaking and he was sweating.
Yeah, squirming, aren't you?
Why? He
Huh?
was better
Squirming,
than in the cave.
I'm scared of him.
yeah.
I've never been scared of anybody in my
My
life.
father-in-law.
In the cave, man.
Really?
I'm gonna be your father-in-law.
I'm gonna be your daddy, mate.
I'm your father-in-law.
I'm your father. You know, like Sarah said to you. I'm your daddy.
I might be your father-in-law.
I'm your daddy, bro.
Yeah, and deal with your mum in a very nice way. Don't worry, I'll do
I'll
it.
do with your mum in the very nice.
yeah.
I'll buy her
I'll tell
food.
her to shave her hair.
I'll take her out.
Anyway,
I'll buy a drink.
shave
Whatever.
her hair like it says in the Bible.
Well, it's a nice conversation, Jab. I'm sorry it turned out like this.
One more there.
Yeah, he said to suck out and shot. That's what his prophet does. Unfortunately, when so you could talk to the camera. You said what you got for your mum. You can talk to the camera.
Yeah, we're done here.
You want to talk about mum? That's fine.
Yeah, he's scared now about his mum. Freedom of speech. You want to use
Yeah, you
freedom
can
of
say
speech
what
to
you want. My
define
mother's a
our
beautiful woman. I don't care.
Well, let me see that.
You don't need to see
Let me
mother.
see your mum.
You don't need to see mother.
I want to see what she looks
I
like.
want to see your mother.
No, it's okay. I'll show you mine.
Is this what we call intellectual discourse?
You don't need to see
Like
mother.
the Muslims here are listening to people insulting. I'm saying.
Unfortunately, Hijab has decided to insult my mother because his religion was started by people.
That's what it is.
No, it's what they do.
You're watching.
No, it's not.
If someone wants to attack the prophet, we attack their mum. That's the news.
I've already won.